Look, it is not like he's just floating around out there. It is tough seeing Austin Reeves and Luka go down with injuries, and no, I have not spoken to him since the season wrapped. Adam Silver's whole empire is shaking, folks. Behind the scenes, the King just signed something that was nowhere near the commissioner's desk, and the league office is feeling every single shockwave. Private meetings in St. Tropez, a Serbian super agent pulling strings, billion-dollar rumors echoing through Europe, and the commissioner's tie just got a whole lot tighter. That Lakers deal and the Serbian link. LeBron James is sitting on a $52,627,153 paycheck for the 2025 season. And that massive check is the final piece of his current contract. Last June, the King officially picked up his $52.6 million option. Agent Rich Paul made the move. Clutch Sports confirmed it, and just like that, LeBron locked in a 23rd NBA season that no player in basketball history has ever reached before. When the final buzzer rings on this current campaign, Bron enters the 2026 summer as a full unrestricted free agent. No player option, no team option, no safety net, just the open market staring him right in the face. Listen closely now, because this is where the whole chessboard gets interesting. The Lakers hold his bird rights. That means they can offer him the max, roughly $59.5 million, depending on where that salary cap lands, without the hard cap nightmare that every other team in the league would face. But insiders say the Lakers are currently the big favorites to land him, though a max deal would crush their chances to build around Luka Dončić and the squad. Plus Austin Reeves, Jackson Hayes, and whoever else they need to sign. So the league is hearing rumors of a Cavs reunion for one final chapter, a Warriors move to chase another ring, a Knicks run, or a mid-level deal for $15 million to join a contender. Every option is on the table, and the room is getting crowded. Now, hold on a second. While Lakerland deals with its own drama, a massive operation is brewing across the Atlantic that has the league office taking notes at full speed. I am talking about Project B. This is a new global tournament-style pro basketball league, co-founded by former tech giants from Facebook and Google, Grady Burnett and Jeff Prentice. Their inaugural women's season kicks off in November 2026, and the men's division is coming right after. Formula One-style touring events, worldwide streaming on YouTube, multi-million-dollar salaries, and equity stakes for everyone on the roster. 6 teams, 11 players each, with stops set for Tokyo and Valencia, and more cities to come. The real link between Project B and the King? Maverick Carter, LeBron's longtime business partner, the CEO of Spring Hill, who has been in Bron's corner since they were just kids in Akron. Carter consulted on Project B in 2025, but stepped away when things shifted toward the Women's League. Then, he returned in March 2026 as a board advisor specifically tasked with handling men's recruitment. His spokesman claims Maverick is only a friend. He's advising co-founder Grady Burnett, but holds no official executive title. But when does Maverick Carter ever make a move without LeBron watching his back? Enter Misko Raznatovic, the Serbian super agent who represents Nikola Jokic. He handles EuroLeague's top stars. This guy has more power in European hoops than most federation presidents combined. This is exactly who the Project B investors hired to serve as their consultant. Back in July 2025, a photo leaked showing LeBron James, Maverick Carter, and Misko on a St. Tropez yacht. When that photo hit social media, every hoops reporter on Earth went to work. Misko actually went on the record about the project. Project B is incredibly ambitious, and it's totally different from anything we have ever seen in the game. Completely different. Those are the super agent's exact words. This is the guy who showed up for that boat meeting after the investment group told him their project desperately needed his European expertise. On a Serbian Hoops podcast, Misko called the setup a classic business play. A group of investors wanted to build a league with European flavor, one that he admits would directly compete with the NBA. Here's his take on the structure. This is a total revolution, honestly. Because for the first time ever, players wouldn't play for specific clubs. They don't play for teams anymore. Players work for the league itself. Think equity, big salaries, and touring. The entire project flips the old sports business model on its head. And Misko didn't just stop there. Players are signed to the league itself, and it is just totally different. Like, really, truly different. That's the perspective from the super agent acting as the lead consultant here. When those investors finally reached out to him, Their goal was clear. Misko says he talked to Maverick Carter on several occasions. He landed an official role as consultant. Maverick suggested they do lunch on a boat where LeBron would be part of the meeting. During the front office sports summit, the commissioner referred to Maverick Carter as a friend. He knows all about Project B's goals. He made a comment that seemed calm, but it carried a lot of weight. If they are planning something competitive, then I've kept my distance. Of course, they have every right to start their own league. I know from experience that running a league is hard, but competition helps. It keeps us sharp. Competition is good. That's how the commissioner is framing it. But let me tell you something right now. When the most powerful man in American sports has to say competition is a good thing, he's definitely not just relaxing in his office. That is a man watching the edge of his global business get tested by the richest basketball star on earth and one of the most powerful agents in Europe. Now look at Silver's take on LeBron himself. The commissioner has said over and over he isn't ready for an NBA without LeBron. Looking toward the 2025-26 season, Silver brushed off the back issues that stalled LeBron's start, claiming he doesn't view Bron as an aging player at all. He's betting that LeBron, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant stay at the top of their game. Regarding that 2026 All-Star Game drama, since LeBron missed a starting spot for the first time in more than 20 years, Silver stayed professional, ducking questions about contracts, retirement plans, or the loud rumors surrounding the Kings' next move. The commissioner is clearly playing a much longer game, keeping LeBron right at the heart of every NBA conversation possible. Meanwhile, the league's European expansion is hitting full speed. They're teaming up with FIBA for NBA Europe. Aiming for a 2027 launch, Silver is leaving his mark across the entire globe. Starting by 2027 is bold. He admits it, but he's not willing to wait past 2028. Silver even did the math. About 15% of the league is now made up of European talent. 15% of the NBA, and that number rises every draft. Silver wants NBA Europe built on fair competition, not some top-heavy soccer setup where only 3 teams ever win. During the March 2026 owners meeting, he spelled out how they'll collaborate. He believes it's for the good of basketball in Europe. The ideal result would be if they could eventually join forces with the EuroLeague. Partnership is the key. They've already met with Real Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG. Real games are already planned for Manchester, Paris, and Berlin throughout 2027 and 8. While Silver draws up the NBA Europe plans in public, that private touring circuit Maverick Carter is building behind the scenes is grabbing every major sports headline. It all leads back to a single question that nobody wants to answer. When the King finally hangs up his jersey for good, where exactly does his massive business empire land next? LeBron's Vegas ownership plan just hit a wall. Buckle up, because LeBron James has been shouting his ownership dreams to anyone who'd listened for the last 10 years. And the way the entire plan fell apart in March 2026 is a story you need to hear. Go back to August 17th, 2016. LeBron went on his podcast Open Run and dropped the bombshell that started this whole journey. His goal was to actually own a franchise. That was the beginning. By 2017, Bron told The Athletic that owning a team would be incredible. He wanted to stay in the game and put people in real power. At 2019 All-Star Media Day, he said something that caught the NBA's attention. There wasn't any maybe about it. He was definitely doing it. Zero hesitation, no doubts. The King was warning Adam Silver that he wanted a team as soon as his playing days ended. And he started building up the bankroll to make that dream happen. Way back in 2011, LeBron first teamed up with Fenway Sports Group, a deal that landed him a 2% stake in Liverpool. That bond grew for 10 years, and by March 2021, LeBron and Maverick Carter joined FSG as the first black partners in that group's history. Owning pieces of the Red Sox, shares in Liverpool, and a massive sports investment portfolio. FSG was the planned financial muscle for when LeBron finally made his move into ownership. Jump ahead to June 2022, LeBron hits his show The Shop and makes it clear he wants a team in Vegas. That was the moment things got real, not just any city, we are talking Las Vegas. Then October 2022 comes around and the Lakers hit Vegas for a preseason matchup. LeBron feels that energy, and after the buzzer, he looks right at the camera to call out Adam Silver. This is the best fan base anywhere. I would love to bring a franchise here someday. I want a team right here, Adam. Thank you. Appreciate it, Adam. That is not just some player talking to the boss. That is a future owner making his pitch for everyone to hear. And Silver answered back, the commissioner said LeBron wanting a team would be great for the league, calling Las Vegas a perfect spot for an NBA team down the road, even mentioning former legends like Shaquille O'Neal, who have held pieces of teams in the past. The plan seemed perfect. Everyone in the league figured LeBron would just retire, lead a Vegas bid with FSG and Maverick Carter, and basically walk into ownership like a force of nature. Things kept moving through 2023, 2024, 2025. LeBron kept mentioning Vegas. Rumors said he was grinding behind the scenes while groups like Redbird Capital were being named as possible financial backers. The NBA, the board got closer to an expansion vote for Vegas and Seattle, eyeing a 2028 or 29 launch. Then suddenly, during the 2026 All-Star break, reporters asked LeBron again about his plans after basketball. He called ownership just one path he might take along with media, charity work, and other business deals. Everything was still on the table, and then the bottom fell out. This is the part LeBron's inner circle never saw coming. The league wasn't talking about expansion teams costing $2 or $3 billion anymore. They were talking $7 to $10 billion per team. $7 to $10 billion. Team values had gone completely through the roof. Every new team joining the league would pay a massive premium that made old expansion fees look like a bargain. A price tag like that needs a very specific kind of investor, and Fenway Sports Group, the people Braun relied on, checked the numbers, looked at the timeline for a return, and decided to pass on an NBA team. They were out. Insiders close to LeBron told The Athletic that with FSG stepping back, it is less likely LeBron will buy a team at all. March 19th, 2026. After the Lakers beat Houston, Dan Woik of The Athletic pulls Braun aside to ask him directly, so are you still interested in owning a team? General ownership or just Vegas? And the king, the man who spent nearly a decade telling anyone with a microphone about this dream, looked Woik in the eye and simply said, no, not at all, not at all. 3 words. Just like that, a 10-year dream was buried in a hallway outside a locker room. LeBron James hasn't taken those words back. He hasn't softened his stance in interviews or hinted at changing his mind. Once the money dried up, the ownership dream was parked in the garage. Let's look at the reactions, because things are getting pretty complicated now. On X, Reddit, and Facebook, LeBron's fans split into camps immediately. One group thinks his answer was just a tactical negotiation ploy. A total smokescreen? A way to say he won't lead the bid without closing the door on a minority stake down the road once a team is established. The other camp sees this as pure pragmatism. LeBron's net worth is around $1.4 billion in 2026. That is a massive sum for one person, but it is not the cash needed to front an $8 to $10 billion franchise bid. Without Fenway, without a massive investment group, the math just does not work out. Lakers and Cavs fans actually felt relieved. They want the king focused on the court for now, or at least not rushing into retirement just to chase a Las Vegas team. Then came the crowd of trolls. Critics called it another flip-flop, which is how they frame everything the man does. Clickbait headlines only fueled the drama. Some analysts linked this shift to NBA expansion politics. Others saw the business logic in not overpaying while the timeline dragged on. Fans back in Cleveland definitely noticed the irony, considering his roots. Folks in Vegas were disappointed to lose that star-powered storyline they were expecting. It would have supercharged the hype for a new team before it was even approved. Reactions from the league were quieter, but just as revealing. Adam Silver, for his part, he hasn't directly commented on LeBron's March 2026 pivot. And that silence speaks. Usually, Silver loves former players becoming owners and welcomed LeBron's interest with open arms. But with LeBron stepping away, Silver's expansion process moves forward, and now the bidding picture is suddenly wide open for other heavy hitters. Magic Johnson's name is being mentioned. Bill Foley's name is popping up. Wealthy institutional groups now have more room to move without a Hall of Fame player stealing every single headline. Fenway Sports Group has gone completely silent on the whole situation. No official statement, no leaks. This was a decision based on cold, hard math. The FSG leadership didn't see any need to explain a business decision that already speaks for itself. League insiders and media outlets, The Athletic, ESPN, Hoops Rumors, CBS Sports called it a logical pullback. Analysts noted that LeBron's exit lowers the star power of the Vegas expansion hype, but it doesn't slow down expansion talks one bit. Reports suggest LeBron might circle back later as a small stakeholder once the dust finally settles. He could wait for a team to be founded, hoping for a cheaper entry point into the owner's circle. The door is still cracked, but it is not wide open like it was recently. And here is the thing nobody is mentioning out loud. Deep down, the NBA is actually fine. Having King James lead a bid would be huge for marketing this expansion, no doubt. But it also brings a really messy power struggle to the boardroom. LeBron would enter that room with more cultural clout than the commissioner or any other owner, or any top executive. Now that FSG is out and LeBron is backing away, the league gets to run its expansion draft on its own terms now. No pressure to give anyone a special discount deal. Just old-fashioned bidding from whales ready to spend billions of dollars without blinking. His time as an owner is not over forever. That is too dramatic. But as of now, the biggest post-career narrative is officially on the back burner. The focus is back on the court, watching what he actually does during this insane 23rd season. And people, that leads us to the biggest story of the year. The way he is playing and all these controversies adding up, plus that retirement decision hanging over every single play on the floor. Year 23 and the exit. Let us talk hoops, because while James handles contract drama and his future in Vegas, dealing with all the noise, the man is still putting up all-star numbers at age 41 while his peers are long gone. Let's look at stats. Over 60 games this season, LeBron is putting up 20.9 points per game. He had 6.1 boards and 7.2 assists in 33 minutes a night. Shooting over 51% from the field is just elite. He is hitting nearly 32% from deep and 74% from the line. With a true shooting percentage near 60, he is still an all-star. He is top 10 in assists, playing the second option role behind superstar Luka Dončić. The Lakers traded for Luka to finally fix their championship timeline. Los Angeles finished the year with 53 wins and 29 losses, fourth in a stacked West. They won the division and entered the postseason as a real threat. Is this a title or bust year? That is debatable. But James is still winning games in year 23 while Luka takes over as the main guy. His game has really changed. LeBron is not running the point nearly as often now. His screen and roll usage has dropped off a cliff lately. Now he is cutting more and finding spots on the wing. He is facilitating more from the corners now. His usage rate is much lower than it was years ago. The scoring comes in waves. Some nights he drops 28. Other nights he takes a back seat while the entire offense runs through Luka. Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. Looking at advanced metrics, his crafted PM is 1.6 and his PER is 20.8. He is definitely earning those rotation minutes. But this season has been anything but a smooth ride. Let me break down the recent drama. It all kicked off before LeBron even hit the floor. Bron started the 2025 season sidelined with sciatica, a nerve issue requiring weeks of medical reevaluation. He eventually made it back to the lineup, and finally admitted the truth that every veteran player eventually has to face. Playing every single night just isn't possible anymore. Load management is now his new reality. No more back-to-backs. Lakers trainers are now making calls that would have been impossible 3 years ago. Then, the streak died. That 1,297 game streak? The longest in NBA history. But mid-season, LeBron finished with only 8 points. Total shocker. Just like that, over. 2 decades of legendary consistency vanished in a single night. For most guys, 8 points is just another Tuesday. For King James, it was a massive historical blow because of the legendary streak that died with it. It was a record no active NBA player had ever even dreamed of catching. Next came All-Star drama. LeBron missed a starting spot for the 2026 All-Star game. The first time in 20 years he is not a starter, finishing 9th in the Western Conference fan vote. Partly because that injury kept him out, hurting his resume. And partly because his current stats don't scream All-Star starter anymore. Some media outlets crunched the numbers and claimed LeBron was actually the weakest link among the selected All-Star players. Draymond Green begged Adam Silver to intervene and find a way to get Bron on that court. Through commissioner picks or injury replacements, it turned into a massive debate about his history of All-Star appearances, a chain going back to his second pro season, and whether that legacy outweighs his current performance. Then, the referee issues. Two high-stakes plays landed LeBron in trouble. During a clash with the Phoenix Suns, Bron got into it with Dillon Brooks, and right in the middle, there was clear aggressive contact with a ref, grabbing the arm, crowding him, and shouting. By the book, that kind of physical contact with an official is an automatic trip to the locker room. LeBron stayed in. Another heated moment in a different game sparked more controversy. Fans and critics on social media immediately started asking the obvious question. Why exactly does the King get a pass when role players would be ejected for way less? Then came the rule change drama. On his podcast, Mind the Game, LeBron suggested the NBA should finally switch to FIBA rules, 40-minute games, and different goaltending laws. The response from the basketball media and the fans was both swift and loud. Critics claimed LeBron was just trying, either shielding his record-breaking stats or bending league rules to fit his aging body. Supporters argue that those FIBA regulations actually make sense, and the NBA-FIBA merger is already unfolding through the NBA Europe project. Either way, pitching rule changes at 41 while facing constant retirement talk made the superstar an easy target for media vultures. Now, let us look at the other side, because through all the noise, this season delivered vintage LeBron moments that remind us why we have been hooked on his career since those high school games. He went back to Cleveland, and it became a massive tribute, featuring a pre-game highlight reel that left LeBron visibly emotional on the bench. Post-game, he admitted he treasures every matchup now because it might be his last. He has been saying that all season long, just living for today, never taking anything for granted while staying focused. And the elite performances are still there. A 19-point, 15-rebound, 10-assist triple-double against Miami. Late season runs where his jumper is wet and passes slice through defenses. That elite court vision reminds us why we have watched him for 23 years. So what is the real retirement talk? LeBron is being incredibly vague, which is just classic LeBron. He claims the end is near, yet he says a few more years could happen if he stays hungry. He insists there is no farewell tour in the works. His go-to answer is always the same. When I know the answer, you will too. Basically, he is not talking until he's ready, so quit the questions. Insiders keep reporting that he has no plans for an exit. League experts expect LeBron to play through the 2026-27 season, aiming for a massive celebration rather than a shock retirement announcement in the middle of the summer offseason. He is managing the same factors every aging superstar faces at the end. His body, battling through sciatica issues this year. His mind, which he claims is locked in. Plus, family and winning. He stated clearly he is not waiting for his son Bryce to reach the pros. He also shut down any idea that he is ready to quit right now. Put it all together, we have a 41-year-old putting up elite numbers while his team finishes 53-29, a player who admits he can no longer play every game, a historic streak that faded away quietly, an all-star starting spot that finally vanished, bad calls, rule change debates, and a Cleveland tribute that felt like a goodbye without saying it. And we have a King repeating that he will tell us when the time is right. The 2025-26 season feels like a last dance in LA. Tributes, rest days, and retirement talk hanging over every single game he plays. But LeBron has confirmed nothing. Meanwhile, his contract runs out this coming summer. That Project B operation is getting loud over in Europe. That Las Vegas ownership dream, it's on hold. LeBron's next chapter is unfolding in real time as the basketball world tracks his every move both on the court and in the boardroom. Thanks for hanging out, folks. See you next time. For more highlights like this, just click that card popping up on your screen right now.